Welcome to our Friday story time. Miss Jodi here. Miss Nancy's videotaping me. We're back in the cathedral again. Looking up. Wow. This is such a beautiful place. All the windows. And outside is such a beautiful day. I have a really great book for you today. It's called God's Very Good Idea. A true story about God's delightfully different families. It's written by Trilla Newbell and illustrated by Catalina Erschwery. Really great pictures. It's kind of a cartoon sort of book. I really loved reading this book, and I'm going to really enjoy reading it to you today because it's all about all the ideas God had when He made us and all the ideas He's had since He made us because, well, we don't always follow Him, so He always has to be a step ahead of us with good ideas about how to help us. Anyway, that's kind of what the book is about. He's always showing us better ways to love each other and better ways to be with each other. So I hope you enjoy our book today, God's Very Good Idea. It was an even better idea than the Super Soaker in 1982, solar panels in 1954, chocolate chip cookies in 1938, I don't know about that, color TV in 1942, fireworks in 700 BC, and the life raft in 1880, or roller skates in 1760, or the X-ray machine in 1895. God's idea was to make people, lots of different people, who would all enjoy loving Him and all enjoy loving each other. They would all be made in His image. They would all be like mirrors, reflecting what God is like. So God got to work. He made a beautiful world for people to live in. Then He made the first people, a man and a woman, and He said to them, "Be happy. Enjoy living, loving me, and loving each other. Have a huge family that will fill the earth and look after the earth and enjoy the earth." All of them were made in His image. God carried on creating people. All of them were different too. Some were men, some were women, some liked reading, and some liked riding bikes. Some had darker skin, and some had lighter skin. Some had curly hair, and some had straight hair. We live in God's world. We are all different. But we are all also the same. Everyone you see is different than you and the same as you. They might look different or speak different or play different, but they are all made in God's image. And they are all valuable. This is God's very good idea. But people ruined God's very good idea. The first people chose not to love God, and this is called sin. And because they chose not to love God as they should, they forgot how to love each other as they should. We are the same. We choose not to love God, so we are not able to love each other like we should. We sin. Sometimes we treat each other badly because they are different than us. And people fight with each other, and people are mean to each other, and people laugh at each other. Because we have ruined God's very good idea, and He is not pleased with us. Our sins mean we can't be friends with Him or enjoy living with Him. We need God's forgiveness for ruining His very good idea. And it's the same for everyone in the world.
People who like reading need forgiveness, and people who like riding bikes need forgiveness, and people with darker skin need forgiveness, and people with lighter skin need forgiveness, and people with curly hair need forgiveness, and people with straight hair need forgiveness. But God was not surprised by people ruining things. He always had a very good plan to rescue his very good idea. So God got to work. He came to earth as a person, a man called Jesus. Jesus loved people who were different than him. He loved people who no one else loved. He always enjoyed loving all the different people he met. And Jesus shows how to enjoy loving each other. But people didn't love Jesus. Instead, they hated him. They put him on a cross to die, but this was part of God's plan. On the cross, Jesus took our sin so we can be forgiven. And Jesus forgives his people for their sins. Jesus didn't stay dead. He rose back to life. Then he went back to live in heaven. Then he gave his people the Spirit to help them enjoy loving him and loving all the different people they knew. Jesus helps us love each other too. One day, God will finish his very good idea, and Jesus will come back and make the world perfect again, and anyone who has asked Jesus to forgive them will live there, with their different languages and skin colors. They will enjoy loving God and loving each other, and they will enjoy praising God for making, rescuing, and finishing his very good idea. But here's a very, very, very good part of God's very good plan. You don't have to wait till then to enjoy it. Jesus welcomes anyone who asks him to forgive them. And when Jesus welcomes someone, he welcomes them into his family forever. He welcomes people who like reading, people who like riding bikes, people with darker skin, people with lighter skin. He welcomes people with curly hair, people with straight hair. God's family is called the church. Your church friends are your brothers and sisters. You're a wonderful and colorful family. You can enjoy loving them and loving God with them. That is God's very good idea. Lots of different people enjoying loving him and loving each other. God made it. People ruined it. He rescued it. He will finish it. And with your church family, you can enjoy being part of it right now.
I love this page with the light bulbs, all the ideas. I bet you could fill these light bulbs with all your good ideas. Well, that was such a great book. And, it reminds me that all of God's ideas help us do one thing. Two things, really. Love God, but love each other. And sometimes we're not very good at that. I want to be better at that. This book, I think, helps me do that. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed our book. Happy Friday, everybody. Bye-bye.